Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of Muslim Divorce Basics. My name is Naveed Husain. I'm a divorce attorney in Chicago. Today I have a very, very special episode for you guys. I sit down with Farhan and we talk about intimacy in the bedroom and how that's a very, very big cause of strife in divorces. So stay tuned for that conversation.
So, I'll start off with sexual intimacy because I know that's something that's not really talked about often. And I like to delve into this because it's like taboo a little bit. It's an elephant in the room. We're all thinking it, but nobody wants to say it because either Islamically they're worried like how people are going to react, or just, they're too shy about it. For a healthy marriage, you need to have sexual intimacy at least 3 times a week, minimum. But how many couples actually do that? Often it only happens, you be lucky, like a person be lucky if they even have it once a month. And think about what that does to a person psychologically and how frustrated that they might be, right? And this is for men and women. So be cautious and about what we watch. Often we compare and we say, well, look at what they're doing and look how they look and everything, and then we don't get attracted. And you see pornography is on a rise. I see this quite often in marriages, where one spouse or the other is engaged in pornography and the other spouse is feeling very low self-esteem and what's happening, why aren't they attracted to me, why don't they want to have intimacy with me, and so forth. So we need to tackle these issues.
No, I think pornography, that's huge, right? Because I think that what you're doing is you're training yourself to be aroused by your eyes rather than aroused physically. And obviously that's going to lead to less physical intimacy. When it comes to kind of increasing the amount of intimacy in a week, one thing I think about is just go to the party, right? And so take that however you want, but by going to the party, just showing up, you'll eventually have fun, right? And so I think that's huge, is that even if it's not working out or whatever, just show up, meaning in terms of dress, in terms of location, in terms of whatever it may be, and maybe that can increase
there's a lot of things
numbers.
what we could do to spice up it. Dress up. Why don't we dress up for each other? Look nice, get groomed up, go on date nights. Often after children are born, the marriages become very bland. Couples don't take out time for each other. It's okay to have somebody watch your children. Sometimes what we have to tell people is schedule it. If you just have to schedule it, that hey, Thursday nights, this is what we're gonna do. That's what you have to do. That's the reality.
The other thing for guys, right, especially, is starting to work out, right? So we talked about show up to the party. We talked about get off pornography for sure. And then number 3, I think for guys, is working out, right? Like, by working out, that testosterone, that feeling in your clothes, that feeling without your clothes, that just changes the entire dynamic. And that applies to the guys and to the girls as well.
So, they say that the average man lasts 2 minutes or less. Often what happens in working out is, very crucial because you build up your stamina. If the person can't last as long as a woman, you should not make your man feel bad or feel, that there's something lacking, because then what's going to happen is that he's not going to want to have intimacy more, right? Build it up. There's things that you could do as couples to build up that time, to make it last longer. Deep breathing really helps. And there's other things, work with a sex therapist.
There's these cards, I think it's called like Best Self or something like that. It's a deck of cards and it's called like intimacy, right? And so basically you take out a card each night or whatever, and it has like a list of questions or like a, whatever, right? And that's supposed to kind of start the conversation. I think that's the other thing too, right? Is that if you watch too many movies and you watch too much pornography, you just think you just jump right in, right? But honestly, it's a whole priming situation. It's a whole, you got to think about it the entire day, right? How have you treated your wife, or how has the wife treated the husband the entire day, right? No one's going to be interested if the house is a big mess and like everything is stressed out. No, everything has to be set up appropriately for it to happen.
You have to set the mood, like you're saying, like text each other throughout the day, be like, hey, I can't wait to see you. Oh, look, send a picture or something like that. Just spice it up a little, so that when the person comes home, they're in that mood, they're excited. They want to see their spouse, and take your time with it. Explore one another, see what each other likes and dislikes are, and so forth.
Yeah, and I think, kind of how you're talking about, like, setting the mood, I think that really applies for women, right? Like, the mood has to be set. But for men are visual, right? It's all about what they see. That's why pornography takes off, is because That's what men want. They want to see things, right? And I think that that can be incorporated when you come home, or if the guy comes home from work or whatever. Like, the appearance of their wife is going to be very important to kind of get that going and set the tone then for the rest of the night.
What is the statistics on pornography? They say that about by the time you're 18, a person is 18 years old, a male, almost 95% of them have watched pornography.
Holy moly, yeah.
95% of them have watched pornography. And it's not for males as well as for females. It's like 67% of females have watched pornography.
I actually have this theory, right, that the downfall of men, right? And so we kind of see this often, is that why are men stuck in the basement? Why are they playing video games all day? I think that men are actually motivated through sex, okay? And so what's happening, I think, in this day and age is that, like you said, there's so much pornography and premarital sex is so readily available, okay? So what's happening is that all that motivation in all of that drive is being subsided, right? Because now you don't need to be successful. You don't need to look good. You don't need to achieve anything in your life to get that woman.
Yeah.
And it's all being taken care of, right? And again, I think that's intimacy issues that leads to problems in the marriage. It's a whole big circle. Thank you so much for coming through. I didn't think we were going to talk about this, but hey, I think this is the topic that needs to be talked about. So thanks again for coming, man.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. Sorry.
All right, that is a wrap. If you stay till the end of the video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to stay up to date with future videos, subscribe. Inshallah, until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.